round 3. Well, Torquay, they got to Wembley last year as Sherpa Van Trophy finalists. Sutton, of course, from the GM Vauxhall Conference, made it to the 4th round of the FA Cup, cherishing the memory of that victory over Coventry. Torquay against Sutton, then. Commentator at Plainmoor is John Motson.
Paul McKinnon has one of the outstanding records in non-league football. His goal on Saturday was his 245th for Sutton United in 438 appearances for the club. While John Uzel's equaliser for Torquay was his first goal for the club since he joined them from Plymouth, for whom he played in an FA Cup semi-final against Watford in 1984. Well, Uzel keeps the number 10 shirt, but he switches to centre-back tonight as Dave Smith shuffles his side around. Number 4, Matt Elliott, who ironically grew up near Sutton, will play as a striker in place of the injured top scorer Carl Airey. Number 5, Andy Davis, switches from sweeper to right back. And at number 9, Paul Hirons comes in to play on the left, where he caused some damage as a substitute on Saturday. Now, Sutton have only 4 survivors from the team that beat Coventry, but they include the 2 goal scorers. Number 4, Tony Raines, the captain, now playing in central defence, and number 7, Matthew Hanlon, now in a more central midfield role. Barry Williams' successor as manager is Keith Blunt, who knows Devon pretty well. He had a spell at Plymouth. And so too did the Torquay manager Dave Smith in the cap there. He took over from Cyril Knowles 6 weeks ago, and he's one of the game's real characters. On his right there, Sean Hasselgrave, the assistant manager. The referee is Brian Stevens from Stonehouse in Gloucestershire, and it's Sutton tonight in all white, Torquay United in yellow shirts, playing from left to right. Number 5 there is 17-year-old Andy Davis. That was Elliott, who's playing up front in the number 4 shirt. Now Holmes. And Uzel feeds the first one in for Elliott. And already an excursion there by Nicky Sullivan. In fact, both the goalkeepers here tonight, former Arsenal apprentices. Nicky Sullivan of Sutton, and at the other end, Kenny Vasey of Torquay. Elliott's there. Oh, how did Sullivan keep that out? It's going to be a corner, but it looked a very good save from here. Corner to Torquay. And Elliott and Uzel in together there. Davis. Now, Elliott's been flicking those on, and Sullivan got a right hand out there to make an excellent stop. This is Lauren for Torquay. Elliott. Raines coming forward for Sutton, and they have to get back now. Dobinson is the player covering. Elliott on Smith, and punched away by Sullivan. Lloyd facing the kicker with Elliott just behind him. And Sutton defending for all they're worth. Uzel is up there as well. All very tight in that penalty area. Lloyd, Elliott, oh, and Sullivan, a busy man in that 6-yard box, mostly from corners at the moment. It's a very, very promising run from the back by Holmes. Ikoku. Smith, Morrison, now Elliott, Loram, turning it, oh, and Smith didn't quite make it. The number 7 really turned this in well with his left foot, little backspin on that, and it ran on a bit past the goalkeeper. Hirons. Massey, Ikoku, and McKinnon's in a good position in the middle, and there's McKinnon, and he couldn't quite get there. Retrieved by John Hawkins. Sutton still have a chance here. And Ikoku, Hanlon. And there's Lloyd, Massey. And away by Davis, but Paul McKinnon, who scored with a deft diving header on Saturday, wasn't far away from making a similar impression there. It was Efan Ikoku who supplied the cross, and how agonisingly close he was. Flicked on by Joyce, Lorem's in there, and Elliott's there. Good save by Sullivan. Goal kicks as the referee. Must have come back off Elliott. And the performance of Nicky Sullivan in this first half, one of the reasons why Sutton have kept Torquay out. He's been very alert, and as Lorem jostled with Dobinson here, the ball come off their backs, I think. Elliott came in for the strike, and as the goalkeeper saved, it went back off Elliott for a goal kick. Now it's a good-looking ball, it's Massey. And two to his left, unmarked here. What a pity from Sutton's point of view that Massey couldn't have put more weight on that cross. He had Paul McKinnon and little John Hawkins absolutely in the clear. No defenders near them. Massey. Now Ikoku. McKinnon just inside him. Hawkins coming up on the left as well. Tackled by Uzel. Hanlon. Gates. Crossed by Massey, Ikoku. And it was finally Matthew Hanlon who got his foot to it. Lorem. Smith in the middle. Oh, it was a taller player might have got to it, but it whizzed over the head of Jimmy Smith. Foul, Rogers on Joyce. And there's Lloyd. Oh, he's poked it in! Phil Lloyd, the central defender, who's gone forward for all the corners and free kicks, makes it pay off on 38 minutes. It was swung in by Mark Lorem. Lloyd came in first and then just jabbed a foot out, and he turned it past Nicky Sullivan. 1-0 to the 4th Division side. And so Sutton, who defended stoutly for so long, but had to survive one or two scares from set plays, finally Phil Lloyd just got his right foot wrapped round the ball and into the corner. Smith is running on here dangerously. It's going to be a corner off Hemsley. Hirons will take the corner. Hanlon half away. Sutton coming out a bit. This is Lorem. Swings it in. And Sullivan challenged, and Smith got in, and it's 2. 3 minutes before half-time, and 20 years old, Jimmy Smith, on his birthday, gets number 2 for Torquay. And Lorem with a very good chip ball with his left foot. Hiron's got a touch, and there's Jimmy Smith just nicking in front of Nicky Sullivan. Forgive the pun, but it was just a matter of him getting up in front of the keeper, as you'll see from this. And it's 2-0 to Torquay. So Dave Smith's team selection seems to have paid off, because his namesake, Jimmy, having been restored to the side, has got the second goal. Hanlon for Sutton. Ikoku could get one back. Good save by Vasey. Well, plenty of action here at the end of the half. Kenny Vasey called upon to make his first save from Efan Ikoku. Not easy, that, for a goalkeeper who's been out of the action for almost 45 minutes. He's been virtually a spectator, Kenny Vasey. But that was an important stop, because if Sutton had got back into the game immediately, it might have changed things as they approach half-time. Here's Jimmy Smith. And over on the far side, it's Hirons taking on Dobinson. Support from Davis there. He was blocked by Hawkins. Half out by Rains. Now Dobinson. Elliott's presence again, the big number 4, causing Sutton to cover up there rather hurriedly. That's his flick, and here's Smith, and it's 3. And 5 minutes into the second half, little Jimmy Smith gets his second and Torquay's third. And even though they doubled up the marking on Big Elliott, Sutton couldn't prevent the ball from running on to Smith. It's the long throw. Elliott just knocks it back on. A nice turn by Smith here, and a crisp finish. So the partnership up front, which was an experiment tonight by Dave Smith, works again, and Jimmy Smith makes no mistake. And it looks very much now as though Torquay will be going to Basingstoke, Dave Smith's team, in the second round. Loram, oh, good little ball. Smith, they've got players up here. Elliott, oh, it ran behind him. Here's Holmes. And now Uzel. That's slowing up a bit in the wind, and here's Jimmy Smith, on for a hat-trick. Well, wasn't too far away, got everything right apart from the finish, but certainly Jimmy Smith is making the most of this fresh opportunity in the first team. 2 goals already, and he was away here, nodding it away from Tony Rains, and then shooting just too high. It may be again that the underdog's best chance was at home in the first match, as is often the case when you look at the way replays work out on the league club's ground. Hanlon back to Gates. Here's Hirons. That's a nice little ball inside to Joyce. And if they can get it out to Loram, Torquay always look threatening. He's got it back from Jimmy Smith. Oh, Elliott! 4. Matt Elliott scores Torquay's 4th goal after 64 minutes. And the experiment of playing him up front, where he's never had a full game before, has certainly paid off with a vengeance. Sutton will testify to that. The cross coming in again, Loram working well on the right, and Elliott thumped it home. Away by Gates. And now it's Massey. Sutton have certainly tried to keep playing football. They've not been disgraced here by any means. But Torquay have known a bit too much for them at times. Hirons. Massey. Now, can they stay onside? Well, it won't matter because McKinnon got the ball off an opponent. Ikoku's in the middle, so is Seagroat. But crosses at that end of the ground are tended to float away in the wind, really. And I'm afraid Sutton's Cup hopes are doing exactly that. They've got the FA Trophy to look forward to, of course, another route to Wembley for a more realistic one for the clubs from outside the Football League. Hirons. Smith's in the middle. And still Hirons. Oh, saved by the goalkeeper's feet. They're lining up again in there. Jimmy Smith is so keen to get his hat-trick. He was looking across there at Hirons as if to say you should have crossed it, but Hirons went for the far corner. Here's Massey for Sutton. Oh, he was too long on the ball there, Elliott. Joyce, Smith, he might get his hat-trick here. No, he hasn't. He just pulled it wide. This lad from Glasgow, well, he's a great Rangers supporter, is Jimmy Smith, and I suppose he's a sort of 4th division Mo Johnston, if you like. He's pretty nippy and very dangerous in there.